Hi everyone, this is Mrs. K. As you know, I am home recovering from my shoulder surgery, and I wanted to talk to you and introduce to you today a couple of sites I'd like you to visit during math class. Mrs. Matson is going to be beginning a new unit on geometry, volume, and surface area, and these sites will help you review but also introduce a few topics to you. I have sent to you in our Google Classroom a list of those sites and the instructions that I would like you to follow during your visits to the sites. The first site I'd like you to go to is going to be a CubeNet site, and this CubeNet site will be a review of what we did earlier in the school year. Early in the school year, we used the plastic squares where we built nets to try to identify how many nets, when they folded up, would make a cube. This site will be on that same idea. So that site is here. And when you go to visit the site, you get up 2 minutes to try to decide whether you think the nets will fold up to make a cube. So you're going to click on one of the squares, and in that square, it's going to ask you, can a cube be formed from this net? And you have to decide yes or no. And then after you decide, the net will fold up and it will tell you whether yes, will make a net, or no, it won't, or if you guessed correctly or incorrectly. So I am going to start with yes. And as you can see, it did not. It says a cube cannot be formed. So it should know that I was not correct. You're going to then come up to the little green X up here, and it shows you here, and it allows you to try out more of these nets. The next site that I would like you to go to, that I sent you, will be an interactive geometry 3D shape site. This site will be a site where I'm going to ask you to do some reading and to also, though, try out a few of the things that it provides on it. So what I would like you to do is I'd like you to start with the introduction. And then once you go from the introduction, I'd like you then to move on to getting started with the 3D shapes. You will notice that some of the words are in red. And those words, when you clicked on, will bring you to a glossary. And that will then give you a definition and show you some of these pictures along the side to help in explaining things to go along with it. As you proceed, I would like you to then move to, as I said, to the 3D shape site. And I want you to specifically pay close attention to those that are cube or rectangular shape, but feel free to read and look at and the other ideas that this site gives you. Then I would like you to move on to explore the prisms, and especially I'd like you to look at the rectangular prisms. And as you can see, the site is very interactive. It will give you different ways in which to rotate the 3D prisms. It also will identify what are the faces, the vertices, and the edges. And also down here, it also has a net like we used before, and it will introduce. So this site is very interactive and will bring you through many of the different things and new ideas that you'll learn. I would like you then to proceed to the surface area and volume site, and again pay close attention to the surface area of rectangles and the volume of rectangles. And as you read and continue through that, it will again bring you to some ideas, some things to read and to explore and play with surface area as you're going down through. And again, introducing and looking at what surface area is of a rectangular prism. And then I'd like you to continue on to the volume of rectangles and read and interact with this site also. You, if time allows, feel free please to explore the other parts of this site and read and learn some more information. And if you really feel like you want to test your skills, you may go to this site. It is It is difficult and challenging, but some of you may be up to that challenge. If you have any questions, feel free to ask Mrs. Madsen or feel free to email me, and I do check my emails. I will be sending you more lessons as I continue on having my shoulder surgery recovery. And thank you, and we'll talk to you later.